Okay, do you see the screen? GED math topic schedule?
Yes, yes, Miss
Okay,
Laura.
this is what we will be doing today. We'll do our homework with ratio and proportion. It was also a review of the mean, mode, median, range, okay? And we'll do some more ratio proportion discussion, and we will do intro. I think I sent you material. You got it when I emailed it to you in the last session, graphs and charts.
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
was.
Yes, we'll go through those. What I basically want you to understand in this session is the different kinds of graphs and charts and how to use them. Okay. So let's go to our homework first. Let me do a new share and bring up the homework. Okay. All right, now let's go through the, well, we'll go through the mean, mode, median first. Well, you didn't have any problems on those. And I was glad to see you got number one right, Mercedes, because it had decimals. And we had been mostly dealing with whole numbers. And Maureen sent me a question and says, uh, I use a 12.2. I said, yes, they're all decimals, but you add them the same, right? And you got the
Yes.
right answer on this one. What was your answer on this one, Mercedes?
Uh, for the you see
Let
me
me,
talk
okay, we're
one.
looking at mean, mode, median, range.
Okay, below number two.
Yeah, well, I'm not going in order. I will go through ratio and proportion after we do mean, mode, median, range.
Okay.
So the first one, okay, Mercedes, read number one.
So what you said, the manager? That's one.
Yes, right here.
The manager of an apartment complex ordered the air conditioners in the apartments to be replaced. The list shows how many years each air conditioner had been in service: 12.2, 13.7, 11.9, 13.4, 11.9, 12.3, 12.9, 11.8, 13.3, 13.6. Question: what is the medial number of year that an air conditioner had been in service?
Okay. Now, what do you do first when you're trying to find the median? Mercedes, just don't use it in numbers, just say in words. What do you do first when you're trying to find the median?
First, we put the numbers in order.
Right, very good. You have to put them in order. They could be in ascending, which is increasing, or
Or
descending, which is decreasing.
yeah.
So when you put them in order, how did you put them in order? Did you go low to high or high to low?
What did I do again? I go. Let's glimpse at my paper that I did it on. I think I start at 212. I start at 12.2. I start from low up to I.
Okay, so the lowest number, okay, let's just put the lowest number and the highest number. So what was the lowest number?
The lowest number was 12.2.
Okay, 12.2. Okay, that's the lowest. Now what was the highest number?
13.6.
Okay, now let's just put in between. Sometimes it's good to pick out your low and your high, because
Yes.
actually to find the range, you had to find the range, you need the low and the high to get the difference, right? Okay, so what goes after the 12.2, Mercedes?
After that, we have 13. I'm sorry.
No, you have a
Yes.
12. Remember, from
12.
low to high.
Yeah, 12.3.
That's right, 12.3. That's the next one. Okay, and the next.
And next one we have 13.3.
Don't you have another 12?
Hold on just a minute, please. 12 point. I give you one. I'm looking at the one that I didn't straighten out. What happened? I'm looking at the one that I didn't fix as yet. Okay, we have what we have first? Okay, 12.2, then 12.3, and we have 1, 12.3. So then we go to 12.9.
Now, okay, let's go back now. You said you went from low to high.
Yes.
So what's the lowest one? Isn't that some 11s?
I'm sorry. It's at 11.9.
Okay, so you have, what's the lowest 11 point?
11. We have two 11.9.
Isn't there 11.8?
Hold on. Let me see if I missed it. Yes, 11.8.
See,
That's the first.
once you select it, you could put a check, like you put a check on the 11.8. Then you said 11.9, there are two of them, 11.9, 11.9. So we put 11.9, and then there's another 11.9.
Yeah.
Okay, did that take care of all your 11-point items?
Okay. Yes, so we go to 12 now.
So you go to 12, and you went to 12.2, the lowest, then 12.3. And is there another 12?
No, there's no other 12.
What
Let's
about
see.
right here?
Oh, we are 12.9. Sorry.
Right,
I
12.9,
didn't
okay.
mark, I didn't mark them. This is the one I marked. I'm just look. Let's quickly look
Yeah,
at the order.
as you check them off, as you do them, you'll see your list is shorter. You don't have as many to put in order. Now, did that take care of all your 12s?
Okay, that should take care of all my 12s.
Okay, now you're at your 13s, right? So what's the lowest 13?
13.3.
Okay, because we have our highest. We've already put that one there. 13.3, and then the next highest,
13.4.
right? 13.4. And the next,
And then we have 13.7. Let me see if I missed.
well, we had 13.6, but the highest we had it here is the highest, but it's really what, 13.7.
I just missed it. 13.6, then 13.7.
That's right. Did we take care of all of them? How many are there?
There should be what?
There are 10 total, 10
10.
total items showing the years each air conditioner has been in service. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we have them in order. What's the second step? I'll say these. Once you get them in order,
Once you get them in order, you're
you're
going
trying
to,
to find the median. So what's your
yeah,
next step?
so we're going to find which numbers or number is in the middle. So what I
Right.
always do is count from, I count like from the first side, I count from the end, I say 1, 2, 3, 4 and stop. And from the next end, I say 1, 2, 3, 4 and stop. And then I see how much left, what left in the middle.
Okay. So if you have an even number of data items, there are two numbers in the middle. If there's an odd number, there's one data item in the middle. So this one has an even set of data. We said 10. So which two numbers are in the middle? Now say these.
In the middle, we have 13.3 and, sorry, 12.3 and 12.9. No, yes. 1, 2.
You have 4 items. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 in the middle. And which 2 are in the middle, you said?
12.3 and 12.9.
That's right. Let's just take these, make this bigger so you can see. Let's make that Okay. There are the two middle numbers that will make up the median. And you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4 in front of those two numbers and 1, 2, 3, 4 behind them. Then what's your next step? And I'll say these.
My next step was again. My next step, I had them together.
And do what?
Um, I had the two numbers together,
Okay.
and then I used two because there's two of them. I used two to divide the answer.
Okay. So you get an average. You can call that an average, right? Get an average
Yeah.
of the two middle numbers. Because that's what you do when you add them and divide by 2. That's an average. And we
Yeah.
call that average like mean. But when we do this, since we use mean as one of our central tendencies, we say we get an average of these two numbers right here. And
Okay.
like you say, you add them. So you take the 12.3 plus the 12.9. And what does that give you, Mercedes?
25.2.
Okay, 25.2. And then you take that total and divide it by 2,
2.
like you said, right? And
Yeah.
what would that give you? What's the answer?
12.6.
12.6. That's how you got answer C, right?
Yes.
Answer C. Very good, Mercedes. It's
Thank
glad to
you.
see you get that one correct because it had the decimal numbers, and they said, well, see if you follow just like you do if they were whole numbers, put them in order. And then since it's an even set of numbers, two numbers in the middle, get the average of those two middle numbers. That's your median, 12.6. Very good. Now, let's go. Now, if we had an odd number, okay,
Like one number.
yeah, let me just, we had an odd number of numbers. Let me just take this. Okay. And suppose your set of years that the air conditioner had been in service is not these, well, it's these numbers, but what number is not there? Suppose we took out the 13.4.
So we end up with 9 numbers.
Okay. And we have 9 numbers. Let me just make that the regular size. That was what, like 20. Okay. It was 18. Make it the same size. Okay, so now we have how many data items?
9.
9. Which one is in the middle, Mercedes?
What is in the middle is 12.3.
That's
Does it?
right. Very good. 12.3. This number. Let's
Yeah.
just make that bigger so you can see. 12.3 is now the median.
Yeah.
With 9 items. 12.3 is in the middle. No averaging two numbers. You just pick out the number that falls right in the middle.
Yeah.
So 12.3 is in the middle and is the median. So now you know how to find median, whether you have an odd number of items or whether you have an even number of items. Okay. Now, let's go to number 2 and just tell me in words now. I'll just read this and you tell me in words how you solve it. I don't want you to use it in numbers. A junior league basketball team scored the following for its first 9 games: 45, 67, 55, 44, 32, 44, 58, 67, and 49. And for this series of numbers, you were to find mean, median, range, mode. Okay, so Mercedes, just tell me in words how you would find this.
Find the mean you're talking?
Yes, just the mean. Start with the mean.
Okay, first thing you're going to add all the numbers together, get together one total number answer,
Okay,
and then the amount of numbers that you got for the total, you're going to use that number to divide the total for an answer.
okay. All right, very good. You take the mean. Hello, Maureen.
Hi, Miss Barbara.
We're doing the homework.
I
You didn't
know.
send me homework. What happened?
No, I didn't get the chance. I was busy. I know this my last going. Now I'm going back on Tuesday, so I ran around.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Mercedes, we started with the mean, mode, median, range. Mercedes had all of them correct. And so we're going through that. Then we'll go through the ratio proportion because that's where we need some more practice. Now, Mercedes just said how you get the mean for this basketball team for first 4 games. She said you add up all those scores and divide by the number of games, which is 9. So when you add them all up, okay, Maureen, did you add these up?
Yeah,
What did you get?
I get 51.2 for the mean.
No, what did you get for the total?
Oh, 461.
Okay, so when you add all those up, you get 461. Question?
What answer she got?
461. That is correct. In other words, when she added all of these scores, she added all these scores and she got 461. 45 plus 67 plus 55 plus 44 plus 32 plus 44 plus 58 plus 67 plus 49. You do that on your calculator. You get 461. And Mercedes, you said divide by the number of items, and that's 9. And what did you get, Maureen?
Oh, wait.
What did you get for the mean?
Wait. Wait.
What did she
Which
say?
one are you doing, number 2?
Yes, the mean. You told me you got
Okay,
the
yeah.
mean. What was the value for the mean?
51.2.
1.2. And you could have just said 51. Okay, because when you round it, it's 51. So the mean is 51, right? Questions on the mean?
No, me.
Very straightforward, right? Add up everything, divide by the number of items. Now the median, here again, we have to put them in order, right, Mercedes? So what is the largest number? What's the largest score, Mercedes?
67.
67, okay. What's the smallest?
And the smallest is 32.
Okay, so we've got 67, 32. Okay, Maureen, what goes after 67? We're going from high to low. Remember, it could be from low to high or high to low.
Okay.
What comes after 67? What's the next?
I think the next 67.
Well, we've got
They got
67.
267s.
We have 267.
Okay,
Got 267.
very good. Okay, what comes after the 267? We're going
58.
58. What's
55.
55? Okay. And the next one?
49.
49.
45.
45.
Two 44s
Okay. 44 is there twice.
and
Okay.
32.
44. Okay. And 44 again. And then there's our smallest number, 32. Okay. Maureen, what is the median?
49.
Why?
How much? There's 9 numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
The median got the
keep talking.
it is 32, 44, 44, 45 is 4, right? 49 is in the middle.
Right. Very good. That's what I want you to say. With the odd number of numbers, 49 is right there in the middle. You have 4 in front of it and 4 behind it. So this 49 is sitting right there in the middle. Okay. So let's just put that there. 49 is the median. All right. Very straightforward on when it's an odd number. Whenever there's an odd number of items, only one number is in the middle. And now that we have them in order, Maureen, what is the range? How would you find it?
Range is from the highest to the lowest.
Range is what?
From the highest to the lowest. From the high number to the lowest number.
I didn't hear a mathematical operation. What do you do with those two numbers?
You subtract the lowest from the highest
That's
number
right.
and get the remainder.
That's right. That's what I wanted to hear you say. Range equal highest number minus lowest. What's the range, Mercedes?
35.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the range?
Subtract 37, give you 35.
Okay, so it's the highest, and we've got them in order high to low, 67 minus 32, and that's equal 35. That's the range. Very good. So let's put our range here. Range is 35. Maureen, is that what you got?
Yeah.
Okay. Maureen, what is your mode?
44 and 67.
That's right. You got two modes. They both appear twice, right? So you put them both there, 44 and 67. Yeah, Mercedes had that correct. Very good. Okay. So is it possible not to have a mode at all, Mercedes?
Are you saying, is it possible there cannot be a mode?
Yes.
Yes, miss, can be possible.
Yes. You could have no mode. Like every number could appear once. No mode. Or you could have one mode, one number appearing more than any other number in the list, or you could have more than one. In this case, we have two modes. Any questions on mean, mode, median, range?
No, miss, thank you.
Now, let me ask you a question. If you had some scores, say on a math test, and you've taken two tests, and you've taken a third test, and you want to know what do you have to make on the third test to get a certain score. Now, let me see if you can figure that out. Let me just, okay. Let me just take, okay. Okay. You scored 85. Question? I'm down to, okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay, your scores, I'll just put it here. On a math test or 85 and 70, right? What score must you make now? I want to write this in different, well, I can do it this way. What score must you make on the third test to get an average okay, average of 86? You want to tell me how would you solve that? You took two tests, you made an 85 and you made a 70. Now you want to increase your average to 86. What score must you make on this third test to get an average of 86?
Um, it, to get 86. Is it 76.5?
What's the score?
77.5, and you square it to 86.
No. Maureen, how would you solve it?
I would add the two numbers together. That way we do. And divide it by 2 and get the average.
That's what I did.
No. Read what I just wrote, Mercedes.
You says your scores on a math test are 85 and 70. What score must you make on the third test to get an average of 86?
Okay. So what would you do first?
The only thing I think of is add the two numbers together first.
Which two numbers?
85 and 70.
Okay, that's a good start. So 85 plus 70. And that's equal to what? That's a math.
155.
155. Okay, now ask yourself, with 3 tests, what total must you get for 3 tests? How do you calculate your total when you have 3 tests and you know the average?
How much you calculate the average when you have two?
How do you calculate the total? Okay, let me just put here. Okay, you have 85 plus 70. Okay, plus some number n, and that's equal a total. Now, but you know the average. So my question is, if you know the total, you can find the end. In other words, what must that third test score be? Now, since you know the average, Mercedes, how can you find the total? The total with 3 tests. That's total with 3 tests. You can find that because you know the average. Average is same as the mean.
Unless I'm going to divide the total by 3.
Yeah, the total by 3 is equal to 86. So now you can find the total, right? So you're absolutely right. I'll say these total divided by 3, and that's equal to the average of 86. So what's the total?
51 point, you could say 7 or 6.
No, let me write it like this. The total,
Sorry.
let me underline this. Okay, take the 3 out. Let's put it like this. Now the total divided by 3 is equal to 86. So what is total? How would I find total?
Cross multiply.
That's right. Total time 1 is total, and 3 times 86 is what?
3 times 86.
Is equal to 3 times 86. And what's that equal to?
258.
258. So you know how much you must have with the 3 tests. You must have a total of 258. But with the 2 tests, you have 155. So, Maureen, how would you find what that third test score must be?
Oh,
Okay. Let me see. Do this. You subtract
Yes, you subtract what?
total from that. The 155 from the 258.
That's right. So 258 minus 155. And what is that equal to? Mental math. What's that, Mercedes?
From at least 3,
she,
4 something.
What's the score? Mercedes, what's the score?
sorry, I thought she was answering. Well, the answer is 103.
103. In other words, you'd have to make 103 on your third test, which means you hope that third test has some bonuses, right? So you have to make over 100.
So, let's start from the top one more time.
Okay,
You're saying to get the third answer, you'd have to first add 85 plus 7 together and get answer 155.
that's right. You add the first 2 scores to get what is your total when with this is your total with 2 tests, right? Total
Then,
with 2 tests.
okay. So then why do you have to go back and I know you're asking for it's a total of 3 tests. Why do you have to multiply 3 by 85?
You mean 86?
86, I mean.
Yeah, because
Yep.
see, I gave you an average, but what average is like a mean? How do you calculate mean? Tell me in words. How do you calculate mean or average?
Oh, you add all the numbers together and
And
then
divide by what?
you amount the number.
Right,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what this is saying. This
Yeah.
mean is equal to total divided by 3. So if you know mean or average is total divided by 3, you can find the total. It's the number of items times the average.
Yes, yeah.
Got it?
No, so the question should be then why do you add the 2 numbers together first?
Why do you add these 2 numbers?
Together first instead of add the 3 numbers together.
No, you can't add the 3 numbers together because these are scores. This is an average. They're not the same thing,
Oh yeah, yes, got
right?
you. I'm sorry.
Can't add these 2 together, Mercedes. They different entities. These are scores. 86 is an average.
Yes.
And the average you get from dividing the total number of items by the number of items. So with 3 tests, you have 3 items, right?
Yeah.
That's why I say 85 plus 70 plus n is a total. So
Yeah.
once we find what the total was, 258, and we can because we know what the average with 3 tests. All right. So
Yes.
that 103, this would be 258 minus 85 plus 70, which is what this is right here. Did I answer your question, Mercedes?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is a common kind of problem that's asked on the GED. Not all of them are just straight up give me the mean. And it's particularly asked with test scores,
Yeah.
where you're given the information where you can find one of the items, what are the things you need, but you need to find the other one. Like you could find what your total is when you take 3 tests, but you've got to find out the difference between that total and the total when you take 2 tests to give you what score you have to make on the 3rd test. So the 103 right here is the score that must be made on the 3rd test. Got it?
Yes, miss.
Okay. All right. Let's go to our ratio proportion. Maureen, did you do any of the ratio proportion?
Marie, seem like
That
you.
one,
Okay. Did you do number 1?
yeah,
What answer did you get?
I get A.
You got A, 80%.
Yeah, but-
That's a big decrease.
Oh yeah, I decrease. I get 5%. I get 5%.
5. How did you get 5%?
I do it 2 ways. I get 3 answers. I get 5%, 20%, 80%.
Maureen, how did you get 5%?
You got those $25 and it's $20 and it decreased. If it decreased, they only decreased like $5.
Yeah, but $5 is not the same as percent. Percent represents part over whole. So the $5 is the decrease, but the decrease is coming from the whole of 25. Now, there are a couple of ways you could do this. One is ratio proportion, but the other one is to get the difference in the old price and the new price. And your percent is always your difference divided by the old price. That's one way of doing it. Now, Mercedes, if you decrease from $25 to $20, what was your decrease, your amount of your decrease?
It could be 5.
That's right, your amount of decrease. So that's one way of doing it. Amount let's just do it the first way. Okay. Okay, so amount of decrease. You decide which way you want to do it. Okay, we'll do it 2 ways. We'll do it ratio proportion. We'll do it this first way. Amount of decrease equals the old amount minus new amount. In other words, the amount before the decrease and the amount after the decrease. So this would be equal to, the old amount is $25, right? So we put the 25. The new amount after the decrease is 20. So that's 20. And Mercedes said the difference, that's $5. Now, to get the percent, your percent decrease. Now put it in words here, would be equal to the amount of decrease divided by the old amount. Okay. So let's just put that over old amount, and you can tell me what that answer is. Okay. Amount of decrease over the old, always the old amount now, the original over the old amount. So what would that be, Mercedes? What would be the answer?
Answer would
Put in the numbers for the words. What's the amount of the decrease?
is that 1.25?
No,
Okay.
the amount of the decrease. We just calculated right here, $5.
Oh, yes, 5.
Right? That's $5. What's the old amount?
The old amount was 25.
That's right. Put that over 25.
Oh,
Mhm.
plus multiply.
And what's the answer? Simplify that.
And oh boy, the answer would be 3.
Simplify. 5 over
Uh,
25
one,
equal what?
1/3,
What?
1 and 3. 1 and 3.
No.
1 upon
5
3.
over 25? 5 over 25.
1
Simplify.
upon 5. 1 upon 5.
Yes, that's right. 1 over 5.
Okay.
And 1/5, you remember from the table that I gave you? Okay, that's 1/5. I'll just put it here. 1/5 is what percent?
Your time, Maureen.
20%.
That's it, 20%.
Yep.
Answer C, right? That's one way of doing it. Answer C. The other way you could set it up is a ratio proportion. All right, let me show you how you would set it up. Ratio proportion. Now you decide which way is easier for you. All right. Ratio proportion is a good tool to use, but it may not always be the best, but it does work. And if you understand it, you can use it for pretty much all kinds of problems, right? So to do it ratio proportion, you would say 100% represents the old amount. Okay, so let me just put this here. Put that over the old amount. And the old amount is what? 25. That's the old amount, right? Now we're looking for what?
You got 26.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's just 25. Oh, let me just put the, so you know this is the money. Okay. Now we're looking for the percent. Let's just make this equal. And we'll just say in percent. And that's when we went to what? 20. Okay, so then this is 20. Or you could put the 5. All right, because then you could do it all in one step. So you could say 5% in percent for the difference. Let's just put it 5, because the other way you're going to have to do a subtraction. Now, cross multiply. What do you get, Maureen?
500
Okay,
one there and 25 the other.
25N,
And
right?
25
So
N there.
yeah, you get 25 times N. Let's see, cross,
25 N.
multiply. Okay, so you got 25N equal 500, like you said. So what is N equal to? Maureen, what is N equal to?
The N equals the 25.
No, how do you solve for N? This is a little n, okay? How do you solve for the N? What do you do to both sides?
Multiply both sides.
No, you're multiplying here. You do the opposite.
Um,
What's the opposite of multiplication? So what do? You divide what?
25 by 500, 500 by 25.
Yeah, divide both sides
Yeah.
by 25. Okay, so that means N would give you, let's see, let's just, I'll bring this all over on the other side so you can see the whole ratio. So you divide both sides by 25, so N would be 500 over 25, and that's equal to what? 20. Okay, so you have two ways you can do it.
Miss, can I say something right there?
Question?
Right there, Miss. What
Right.
I did was cross multiply. I say 5 times 100, I get 500, and divide by 25, I get my 20.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. This is all mental math.
Yeah.
Because even though we divide both by 20, you could just ask yourself, it's only one number times 25 to give you 500, and that's 20, right? So you could just say N equals 20. But just to show you how you solve it, the unknown is N, divide both sides by 25, 500 divided by 25 is 20, and you get the same answer we got here, 20%.
So, Miss, I looking at the math, I couldn't figure out how do I do it
Do that here for, I don't.
to get the answer.
Yeah, but did you
I
understand here how you can get the difference, divide that by the old amount?
Yeah.
Okay. And you get the same thing. I don't know which method you prefer. You prefer this method or the ratio proportion?
Ratio.
Yeah. Well, ratio, you 100% is these $25. That's before the decrease. And then the n percent is the difference. If you had put the 20 here, you would have gotten 80. Then you have to subtract that from 100 and get 20. But just put the difference right here and you'll get the 20. All right.
Oh, because I did another when I got 82. And
Yeah, you got 80, but it says the percent decrease. That would be the 80 from 100.
So you have to take away
All right.
from there.
In other words, the 80% is the $20 represent 80% of the cost. You got that, Mercedes? The 80%, the $20 represents the new price. It's 80% of the cost. Hold on, please. Hold on just a minute. Somebody at my door. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I'm back. That was medicine being delivered for my uh, daughter because she's not here, and I was supposed to. I thought they were to call, but they didn't call. All right. Any questions on number one?
No, Miss Clarity.
Okay. So you
Okay.
got two ways to do it, and you do the way you feel best. But I think it's good to understand the ratio proportion because they can be used for so many kinds of problems. Okay.
Yes.
And I was surprised by Mercedes number two. Number two, Mercedes. Read number two, and let's just figure out how you solve it.
It was an odd task to this one.
Well,
Then-
you'll see when you read it
okay.
that
Since I
it's
don't understand how
not
to,
as complicated as you probably making it. Just read it, okay?
if 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories, what percent of the calories in a munchies, what does that miss?
Roast beef,
No,
munchies.
munchies, munchies roast beef sandwich come from fat. Maybe we
Okay,
can.
so here's your key right here.
Yes.
1 gram of fat equal 9 calories. All right. Now, when you look in your table,
Yes.
all right, roast beef has how many grams of fat?
6.
Mercedes?
Yes, 6.
6, right?
Yes, miss.
Okay. It has 6. Okay, so you got that from the table. So let's just put here 1 gram
Equal 9.
fat
Take off your E.
equal 9 calories. I'll just put just what I underlined, right?
Yes.
So now ask yourself, and now this is just a math. You could set it up as a ratio, but you can just ask yourself 6 grams of fat equal, and I'll say in calories. What is in, Mercedes?
N is 54.
That's it. I told you you knew how to solve it, right? So 6 grams of fat would be 9 times 6. Okay, in calories, I'll just put here equal 9 times 6 equal 54 calories.
A myth.
Yeah, question?
What's the question? What's the percent? So I have to find how much percent is 54.
Of what?
54.
So we've got to find 54. What percent 54 is of what? Look at the roast beef.
Oh, 300.
300. You got it. So your percent would be your 54 divided by your 300.
I think I did that too.
Your percent calories would be equal to 54 divided by the 300. And what's that equal to, Mercedes?
0.18.
Hmm?
0.18.
0.18, and that's equal to, and how do you convert from decimal to percent? Multiply by 100 or shift your decimal point 2 places to the right. So this becomes 18%.
My answer is right. Got it.
That's correct.
Miss, I look at it and I leave it and I go to others and I say, I'm not going to stop until I get it. And I go up and say, God, I think I do, but just show me how to do it. And I sat down at work and I tried until I got it. About 3 times I said, I'm not leaving it, I'm going to do it.
I said, Maureen, did you do it?
Yeah,
Did you get 18%?
yeah.
Okay. So this one was, you could have set it up as a ratio, but since the numbers are so simple, 6 fat grams, right? And 9 calories in one. So 6 would have 6 times 9 or 54. Now it said what percent of the calories in the Munch's roast beef sandwich come from fat. You just take that 54, you give it in the table a total of 300 calories. 54 divided by 300 gives you 18%. Got it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now, since you understand this, suppose I changed this and I said, what percent of the calories in a club classic sandwich come from fat? I want you to find that for me. Tell me what it is.
Yeah. First of all, you're gonna because as 1 gram is equal to 9 calories. You're going to multiply.
No, I want you to solve it and give me the answer.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Maureen, you solving it? I'm changing the question. It's still 1 gram of fat, 9 calories. What percent of the calories in a club classic sandwich come from fat? What is the answer? Just want you to give me the answer in percent. Anybody got an answer?
Error a while ago.
How many calories from 5 grams of fat? That's your first step.
Yeah.
What did you get,
That is
Mercedes? What did you
45.
get? 45. Now get the percent. You know how many calories in a club classic?
So
5 times 9 equal 45 calories in a club classic sandwich. Okay, we're doing the club classic. Okay, now what's your next step, Maureen?
We divide the 335 by 45.
The opposite.
Divide 45,
Yeah, you divide the 45 by what?
335.
That's right. Divide the 45 by the 335, and what percent do you get? What is that percent?
0.8. 0.13.
What did you get, Mercedes?
0.134, I could say 13, yeah. 0.13.
Yeah, you get, how are you getting 0.8, Maureen? It's 0.134, or you could round it, say, or 13%.
Yeah.
Got it? Maureen, how did you get 0.08?
Oh, the calculator that wrong. This calculator is messed up sometimes anyhow.
Did you put 45 divided by 335?
Yeah.
You should have gotten 0.134. and multiply that by 100, you get 13%. Or shift your decimal point 2 places to the right, is between the 3 and the 4, 13.4, or rounded to the nearest
Turn it on and turn it back off.
one is 13%. Question?
No.
Okay,
No
so Mercedes, you see why I said that one? I was surprised you didn't get that one right.
No, I
And
got it right.
you figured it out. Oh, but you didn't send me the answer.
Yeah, I did. Should be. This is number 2, say 18%. Because I have the paper, I'm looking at my answer sheet that I copied from
Wait,
sent to you.
I think you did have, that's right, you had one right. Right? I think I told you, I sent you an email.
I know I did get number 1 wrong. It's D. Because I didn't really fully understood.
Okay.
You should
Yeah, I
copy.
think I sent, let's see. I wrote down here. Let me just check. Because you did have one correct for the ratio, and you had all correct for the, okay. Yes, you had 18%.
Yeah.
Yes, you definitely had that correct. Okay. Okay, let's go to number 3. Yes, because I switched it back to you and I said, we've got to go over the ratio proportion because that's where you had some mistakes, but you had all the other part right in the mean, mode, median. Okay. Number 3. Maureen, read number 3 and tell me did you solve that one?
I get C for my answer.
You got C?
Yeah. Every $8 in your budget.
Number C is not, no, C is not correct. So tell me, how did you solve it? How was your ratio set up?
Okay.
It's a the ratio.
Okay. Well, how did you solve it?
I can remember, Miss Barbara.
Or did you just pick an answer?
No, I do it, but I have the paper, but I can't find the paper, man. I do it, man.
Okay, so for every $8 in their budget, Park spent $3 on food. So let's underline that. Okay. Now, if the weekly budget is 704, okay, let's underline. How much do they spend on food each week? Now, Mercedes, how would you set up the ratio? Let's just say budget
Yes, it'll reach your end.
over food, okay? And you tell me what to put here. Okay, so we'll make sure we set it up right. We have budget over food. Now, what will we put for the first one?
8.
$8, that's right. So we put the number 8. And how much did they spend on the food?
$3 to every.
How much did they spend?
Oh, you want it total what they spent? The total of what it.
Yeah, how much did they spend on food out of the $8?
$3.
$3. This is 3. Okay. So that's 3. Sometimes it's not. Okay. Now, if their weekly budget is 704, how much do they spend for food? Now let's just put this, okay, equal, because the ratio proportion is setting 2 ratios equal. So the budget is now what here, I'll say these, the weekly budget is what?
Weekly budget is $704.
There we go, 704. Now what we're looking for is how much they spend. So this would be our N, right? So there would be our n. Now, how would we solve this, Mercedes? We got it set up. So what will we do next?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply. Cross multiply, solve it. Maureen, you do the same. Tell me what you get.
When you cross multiply, you get, you want to solve all of it first?
No, cross multiply, okay. Tell me what you get when you cross multiply.
21, 12.
Okay, so you get 8n. What's that equal to, Mercedes?
2112.
Okay, 8n is
Well,
3
right.
times 704. And you got, you said 2112. Okay, what's your next step?
The next step, you're going to divide 2112 by 8.
That's it. So your n would be 2112 divided by 8. And what does that give you, Mercedes?
That gave you 264D for the answer. Lord, how can I get that? What did I do wrong?
Oh, Maureen, you gave me that answer, right?
She said she got it wrong. She got it
Uh,
wrong.
Did you give
She
me
gave-
that answer?
no.
Oh, okay. So it's 264. That's the answer. Okay, so answer is G. Okay. Let's be consistent with our little n. So the answer would be D. So Mercedes, what was your problem with this one? You didn't solve it.
I didn't set it up properly, miss.
Remember, I say put the right tags in. See, budget over food, budget over food, budget over food. You could have said food over budget, but then that means you have to put 3 over 8 and n over 704. Same thing.
Okay.
But always put your tags of what each item is. You know, like budget over food. Now put the ratio. $8 budget, $3 food. 704 budget, unknown in the food,
Okay.
that amount
Um,
spent.
I'm getting out to the word proverb. Um, I'm getting it little by little. I said maybe I didn't know how to set it up. That's why I get it wrong. But I was really close.
Yeah, but the important thing, that's the thing, that's the challenge of the ratio proportion, is setting up the problems correctly.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
why I said put the little tags of what each number represent as the ratio. Budget over food, that's your ratio. Then put the numbers in. And then you'll always have them right. But put what each, what the explanation of each of the ratio. All right.
Okay.
That's the best way to do it. Then you can set the ratios equal. That's what a ratio proportion is. Cross multiply, solve for the unknown. You always have 4 items
Yes.
in your ratio proportion. 3 you know, and 1 you're looking for. All
Okay.
right. So Maureen, you did you set it up like this?
No, they said it like that.
Well, how did you set it up?
I do it the other way around.
What's the other way around, Maureen?
When I go 235, I divide the 3 by the 704. That's right. I have to get the
That's what I did. That's what I
You
guess
you divided what?
I divide, I think the 704 by 3, but I didn't remember the 8 anyhow.
Well, what did you get when you divide 704 by 3? You said you divided 704. Let's see, 704
Yes.
divided by 3.
I got 234 point 6 to the 7. They make it like 235.
Oh, okay.
I didn't study. I didn't remember it yet. Anyhow,
Well, I'm telling you, that's why they gave you 235. Because they knew that's the answer you'll get when you do it
Divided
incorrectly. But see, there's no reason to divide the 704 by the 3. Because one is a budget and one is food. Right?
uh,
I mean, there's another way you could have done this. What's another way you could do it? Anybody think of another way you could do it?
No, miss, the only way in my mind is the way you just did it.
No, there's another way to do it. Let me just put in my, okay, 3, okay, 8, okay, times 704. There's another way you could do it. And you said you can't think of the other way, right? Now, look at look at the $8 in the budget, $3 food. That represents a fraction. What is that fraction? Out of $8, you spent 3. What fraction of your budget of $8 did you spend on food? Mercedes, what's the
1/3.
fraction?
1/3.
No,
Uh-oh.
$8 represent the budget, $3 represent the food. $3 is the part, 8 is the whole. So that's 3/8,
Oh, that's what
right?
one of I was gonna say when you said 3/8, I was gonna say 24 and I stopped.
Yeah, it's
That
3. No,
time
it's
earlier.
3/8. Because 8 is the budget, $3 is food. So you spent 3/8 of your budget on food. Now, if you keep that 3/8 multiplied by 704, you'll get the same answer.
Wait a minute.
You got it?
So I multiply 3 times 8, right? And I get 24.
Yeah.
I use the 24 to multiply, to divide.
So what I'm saying is, if you had $8 in your budget and you spent $3 on food, that means 3/8,
yeah,
Maureen, right?
yeah.
3/8 of the budget was spent on food. Now you know your fraction. You can just take that 3/8 and multiply it by the 704 and you get the same answer.
Uh-huh.
3/8, take that 3/8 fraction and multiply it by the 704. Multiply that. Don't you get the same answer?
Yeah.
264. So that's what I said. That's another way of doing it. Because remember, we said the ratio is a fraction. It could be the colon, like number to a number, or it could be the words to. So $8 of your budget, $8 is your budget, $3 of that budget spent on food. That's 3/8, 3/8. Take that same fraction, multiply it by 704, and you get the amount spent on food of the $704 weekly budget. Got it?
Yeah.
Questions?
Miss, on my calculator, when I multiply, I set it up like this: 3.8 times 7.
No, it's not 3.8. No, say it's 3.8. It's not the same as 3/8. On your calculator, you go to your N over D, numerator over denominator.
And over the, hold a minute.
All right. on your calculator, because I have the same calculator you have, you go to your N over D, numerator over denominator. You see the numerator blank,
Yeah.
blinking, you put the 3. Then you go to that big over key and press downward, you get the denominator. You put the 8, right?
Go over where, miss?
That gray key, that big gray key, that's
Yeah.
up, down, right, left, right?
Yeah.
So you bring it down and you put an 8. You got it?
No, miss.
Okay, let's start back over. All right.
Okay.
So press the N over D. Got that?
Okay. And over D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you see the numerator top blinking, right?
No, I don't see the black that blank blinking or something like that.
You don't see the blinking at the top number numerator?
No, miss.
Okay. Clear it. Put the N over D key.
All right. Oh,
That's
N
on
over
the
D.
third. That's on the third row. Second.
Oh, yes, I got it.
You
I
got
saw it.
N over D, right? Now, do you see the blinking of the numerator?
Yes.
Put
Yes.
put 3 there, right?
Okay, 3.
Now, you see that big gray key?
Blanking again.
Press the downward on that big gray key over at the right.
Okay.
And now you see the denominator blinking, right?
Not sure what's going on.
You
Okay,
see the denominator blinking?
no, I just see that thing blinking.
You don't
I
see
see
the bottom?
what I see is a slash and a 3 below it. Like it is in
No,
the
no,
wrong
no,
place.
no, 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 no. Let's go back. Okay, N over D. Tell me what you see.
And over D, I see a slash line.
A
that is
slash or a dash?
slash crossway. Vertical like.
Okay, because mine is like N over D, just like it says. The numerator, line underneath, and then the denominator. No slash.
I don't see a line crossway like.
Well, that's what I mean. This is like a line underneath the numerator. Okay, so you put in the 3, right?
Okay, I put 3.
Put the 3.
Yeah.
Okay, now that big gray key on the right, press downward on it, the down.
Okay, I push down.
Now you see the bottom number blinking?
No. I think it's wrong with my calculator.
You have the TI-30XS, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the same calculator I'm using. And you should see the denominator blinking, and that's when you put the 8.
Oh, let me see something. No, I got the line and 38 behind it. I don't know why it's not getting it. Let me go back again.
Go back again to the N over D.
Clear.
Now you see something blinking at the top
No,
and a
nothing
line underneath, right?
No, nothing that blinking at the top of mine. Just that big gray thing blinking all the time. And when I press N over D, I just see the line come on the left side of it. And if I press 3, it go right on, like say under the line.
Well, the 3 is at the top.
The 3 is not at the top.
Yeah, when you the blinking is at the numerator first, the top number. And so you put in the 3. Did you put the 3?
It did not blink, so the 3 go at the wrong place. The
Well,
line.
all right, now say this, start back over. N over D. When you press N over D, what do you see?
All right, before I press N over D, I see this little black square or rectangle blinking, okay?
No, clear it.
How do I clear that?
Your clear key is over on the right. It's right below the big gray key.
I'm pressing clear, but it's still there. Still there blinking away.
Oh yeah, that'll be blinking because your calculator is on. Now
Yeah.
press your N over D.
press my N over D and I see
Tell me what you see.
a line come across.
And you don't see the top blinking?
No, not moving.
Just like it was blinking for, like a little box.
No, it's nothing. You just the line just come slash across, like from top right to left bottom.
Yeah, because it should be N over D. It should be a line underneath the blinking, and that's where you put the 3. So put a 3 in. Tell me what you see.
It's gonna go right back the same place. It go right there, let's say under the line that is not blinking. If my calculator drop several times, it will spoil me.
I'm sorry?
If my calculator say fell from my hand several times, will it spoil?
If it
Or
did what?
will it get spoiled if it fell from my hand a couple times?
I don't know.
Does these batteries, miss?
Yeah, it does, but mine, I've had mine for years and I haven't had to change the battery.
Because I haven't had this a very long time.
Okay, well, let's go ahead to the next problem. I think you have a calculator
I'll
problem.
figure that part another time. I know to figure it out.
Okay. All right, let's look at number 4. Maureen, read number 4.
A television station called 400 adults and asked the following question. Do you approve of the governor's new educational program? The table below shows the result of the survey. What the respond and what the percent about. Undecided was 16%. The people that say yes was 32%. No was 52%. Of the people called, how many did not answer no?
Okay, now, what percent, Maureen, did not answer no? Mental math. Percent not answering no. What's that equal to, Maureen?
The percent that did answering,
The percent that did not answer no.
32% answer yes. 52 didn't answer, 52 no's. They said, how many did not answer no? So that'd be like 48.
That's right, 48. You just add up the undecided and the yes.
Yeah.
So another way of looking at it, say 100 minus 52 equal 48. So that's the percent that did not answer no. Got it? 52% answered no. The difference in 52 and 100 is 48, or if you add the 16 and 32, the undecided and the yes did not answer no. Now, how would you find the number of people that did not answer no? You got the percent. How would you find the number of people that did not answer no, Maureen?
Okay. Not answer no.
You know the percent. How many people does that represent?
400 people?
400 is a total.
Okay.
So if you call 400 people, 48% not answering no, how would you find the number of people that did not answer no?
You divide the 400.
No. Mercedes, you know?
I think you're going to turn your percent to decimal. 0.48 times 400 give you 192.
That's right. Very good, Mercedes. So what you really doing is finding 48% of 400. That's your total.
I said
Mm,
48 divide.
No, you want to find the percent of the total. The total number of people is 400.
Uh,
So you take and like Mercedes said, make that a decimal and multiply it times 400. And you got what, Mercedes? 192?
Yes, miss.
And
See,
that's answer what? Answer C.
I misunderstood my answer, miss, and do the wrong number.
What
Because
did you do, Mercedes?
oh, instead of putting no, I did six. I did 16%. I should have done 52%. I don't know
It
what I
says
was.
how many did not answer no. The
Yeah,
ones that answer no is a total of undecided and yes, because they didn't answer no,
I don't know why do I do it on this side.
I did
right?
wrong too because I put, why I started my wrong, I put that 16 for undecided and 33 for
Yeah,
yes.
that's
And
what
I
I
put
did.
30, I put 33 for yes instead of 32.
I don't know why make I think
But
of that.
Maureen,
I know why copy it that wrong.
but the no is 52%. The
Yeah,
one didn't answer no would be the rest of the people. 52 from
Yeah,
100.
yeah.
16 plus 32,
But
48.
but I had 16, 33. So 32.
Oh, you had 33.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when you add these two, you get the ones that did not answer no. 52% answered no. 100 minus 52 is 48. Did not answer no. Take that percent of the total. You have 400 adults. 48% of the 400, like Mercedes said, 192. So Mercedes, where did you go wrong? Because you just told me how to do it. What happened?
just like how I did this one, miss. I did undecided instead. Before I did I should have done no 152. I go to the wrong number, the wrong percent. Oh
But
well, I'm
the,
learning
the
that.
no is 52%. The rest of the people did not answer no, and they broke it down into two categories, the undecided and the yes. Add those two together, right? You get 48%. Or subtract the
Wait a minute.
no's from 100, you get 48%.
Hold a minute. You're saying right here to get the 48, I
You
we should
add
have
these two together right here,
one.
16 and 32.
Why?
Because the no is 52. The one didn't answer no would be the total of these two.
Oh,
They
so
did
you
not
did
answer no, right?
48 and 52 is 100.
100. That's right.
Okay.
So you got your numbers staring you right here. These two categories did not answer no.
That way have
16%
that
was
way.
undecided. They didn't say no or yes. 32% says yes. When you add these two, that's the total that did not answer no.
That way make my mistake. I said 33.
Oh,
I
you
that way
had
get that
33.
right that way get 101. I was saying it's 33 instead of 32.
Oh, okay. All right. Mercedes, you understand now what you should have
Yes,
done?
yes, miss. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so you have to read the word problems really carefully because this one, they really gave you the ones not no when they gave you the undecided and yes. You just had to add them up. Or, like I said, you could take the 52% no, subtract from 100, get 48. Both ways you get 48. 16 and 32 is 48. 100 minus 52 is 48. Then you
Yeah.
take that percent of the total, and that gives you the 192. Questions on number 4?
No.
Thank you, miss.
All right, let's go to number 5, the farmland. Now, Maureen, did you solve number 5?
No, I do the first one. I go the first one. I do the first part. I do 5, but I don't know if I get help. Right? I get help 36.
What answer did you get?
B.
I'm sorry, say it again.
B as in boy.
Okay, 36%. That is correct. You want to tell me how you got it? B is correct. That's the answer.
I should tell
Okay,
you no
so
hurry.
let's just put answer B. Now, Maureen, tell me how you got B.
Oh, I get B. I do the card and tell you here. Okay. What percent of the country farm land is used for growing of grain, vegetables, and fruits? I added those 2 numbers.
Okay, very
I added
good. You got,
those. Yeah.
that's it. Good start, Maureen. So you took the grains, vegetables, and fruits and
Yeah.
added them up. That's these 2 categories right here.
Yeah.
5,200 and 9,200. So you added, let's just put here. Add, oh boy. Wait a minute. Okay, so the first step is to add up those 2 categories, right? Veggies and fruits and grains. Okay, so let's just put here, add vegetables, fruits, and grains. That's your first thing you do, right? And what did you get for that, Maureen?
14,400.
Okay, she added the 5,200 plus the 9,200.
I
And
did
that
that part.
you got that part right, right? And what did you get, Maureen?
14,400.
14,400. Okay. All right. So that's your first step. And then what's your next step, Maureen?
Then I divide it by the 40,000.
Right, because it says what percent is used for growing, but they told you the total acreage was 40,000. So you took that 14,400,
Yes, my answer is
400 divided by the total of all the acreage. And what did you get, Maureen? You got 0.36, right?
Yeah.
36. And that's equal to 36%. Shift decimal point 2 places to the right, the same as multiplying by 100. Okay. Mercedes, did you do that part?
Yeah, what I did was 0.36 times 400 gave me 1,400. So I know that 36% was correct. But guess what, Miss? I missed and put the wrong number, the wrong letter.
Oh, because that's
mistake.
right. You didn't give me that B.
Oh,
Right.
I made a mistake with the answer. But I
Okay.
got it.
But
I
you
have
but
it. I did.
okay. So number 5, you understand how to get it. Okay. Now, number 6. One dairy farmer in Ford County is considering selling her farm to developers who will convert it from a dairy farm to a resort. If this happens, the amount of farmland devoted to dairy in Ford County would decrease by 20%. So how many total acres of farmland will Ford County then have if the farmer decides to sell? Okay, so what's your first step? Mercedes, what's your first step?
The first step was what was again? We're gonna try out the amount of what did I do that? You're gonna put in words
Well,
yeah,
let's think of a ratio. How could you set this up as a ratio to find how many uh, acres that 20% would represent?
um um go ahead, Miss Barbara, because I don't remember. I know I started.
Maureen, you know how you set it up as a ratio?
Yeah, but that, okay,
Let me just say percent. All right. Now put that over number
Uh,
of acres.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
20,
now you can set up a ratio, right?
yeah,
What would your ratio look like, Mercedes?
20, uh,
What's your total?
20%.
No, what's your total? What's your total number of acres
Oh,
for
for
dairy?
what 400?
22.
Where is it?
22,000. Look at your table here.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking at table. That's
So, so the 100%, this will be 100, that's percent. That represents 22,000 acres for dairy, right? So that
yeah.
represents 22,000. Right? Now, 20% would represent what? So we can set these ratios equal. So this will be equal to 20 for the 20%. And this would be on the line.
And
This would be N.
yeah,
Okay. So what is N equal to?
and it's going to equal to
How would you solve it? Cross multiply.
multiply
100.
Cross multiply. Tell me what is N.
and is 44,000 of 4
4,400, isn't it?
yes. I got
Okay.
4
So cross multiply, you get N
4
equal
0 0 I got 4 0
20
44 million.
times 22,000 divided by 100, right? What's that
On
equal to, What's that equal to, Mercedes?
yeah, it's equal to 44,000,000.
Okay, so that's divided by 100. And what did you get?
44,000. I got 44 and 40.
How many zeros?
4.
Okay, so you got
40.
okay. Let me multiply this out. Okay, so you got 20 times 22 divided by 100.
And the answer is supposed to be D.
Then I get 4,400.
I don't know what the calculator doing, miss, but the answer is the same thing you got there.
4,400?
Hold on, let me look over. Let me put it back in, miss. Maybe I'm making error.
So that represents the number of acres that would be devoted, what would be used for a resort. So acres for a resort. So if that person sold to a developer, that's how many acres would be used. But the question says, how many total acres would you have if the dairy farmer decides to sell? Maureen, how would you find the total left?
But my answer is still correct, miss.
Yes, I'm asking you, how many total, we're trying to answer, how many total acres of farmland will Ford County then have if the dairy farmer decides to sell? So 4,400 acres is going towards a resort. So how many acres would be left? How would you find it, else ladies?
What I do is when I multiply 20 by 22,000, the answer I divide by 100 and I get my answer.
No, that's acres for the resort, but that's not what the question asked you. How many total acres of farmland will
Remain,
Ford County? Yes. How would you
remain.
find that?
So I'm saying what I do is when I cross multiply, I multiply 20 by
Oh,
22, 22,000 by 20. And that answer, I divide it by 100 and I get 4,400 acres left.
No. You don't get 4,400 acres left.
Lord.
20% represents the number of acres that will be used for a resort if that dairy farmer sells to a developer. That's not how much is left, because you started out with 40,000.
Yes.
So that 40,000, you subtract the 4,400 from it. That's how much is left.
44.
That's just 35,600.
Okay. What did I know I get a 4.
yeah.
All right.
So are you saying that the 4,400 should taken away from the 40,000?
Yes, the 4,400
Oh,
acres, that's the amount that represents the 20% decrease.
okay.
All
So
right.
I
Then
go,
you have to
I
subtract that from the total acreage, which was 40,000.
okay, miss, I get it off right.
Got it? So your answer would be A.
So I get it halfway right, miss, because I go as far to as the 4,400. So I use it as the answer, which is incorrect.
Well,
So
see, the 4,400, that's the decrease,
oh,
because the developer, the dairy farmer sold to a developer. The developer will then take that dairy farm, make it into a resort. That's the 4,400 acres. So we started out with 40,000. A person sold, and it decreased by 20%. So 20% of the dairy, 22,000, gives you the 4,400.
so
Subtract that from the total
yes, miss.
40,000, you get the total acres after the dairy farmer sells.
One question, miss. So you're saying
Yes,
that 4,400 is the 20%? Is that the
yes,
20%?
yeah,
Or
and yes, and you could have taken that 20%, said 20% of 22,000. That would have given you 4,400. I mean, that's the way of doing it without the racial proportion, because 20%, if the dairy is decreased, notice here, it says farm land devoted to dairy is decreased by 20%. That means you take that 22,000 acres devoted to dairy and take 20% of that. That would give you the 4,400. Got it?
Okay. So 35,600 is the answer.
That's the answer. Because it says how many total acres. Notice what it says. How many total acres of farmland will Ford County then have if the dairy farmer decides to
Right.
sell? So you started out with 40,000. 20%
Sell
was a
is
decrease of that 22,000 acres that was for dairy. That was the 4,400. Got it?
okay. Yes, miss. Thank you.
So that 4,400 was one of the answers, but that's not the total after the sale. That's the amount of decrease after the sale.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Questions? Okay,
Hmm.
now let's just look. Well, we'll have a few minutes to look at the, let me go to a new share. And I just want to go through graphs and charts.
Can you do the one with the manager, Miss Barbara?
Question?
Did you do the one that a manager of an apartment complex? Is like mean, mode, medium, and range?
Oh yeah, we did that one.
Uh,
We
so
added, yeah, right
Okay.
here. This one was looking for
Okay.
median years, right? So we put them in order and we
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
two numbers in the middle, add them up and got an average and the
Are you,
answer.
are you do the one with the junior league basketball?
Yes, we did that one,
Okay,
number
okay,
two.
okay, okay.
And we had the mean, did you get these, Maureen? 51, median 49,
Yeah,
range
yeah,
35. There were two
yeah.
modes,
I
44
know.
and 67.
So how many one? I didn't hear when you do the mean, the medium, and the mode. The one with the 13 point this. I didn't do that one. You didn't do that one?
You didn't, which one?
The one with the 13.7, 13.6. This one here.
Oh, the one right here, the air conditioners?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that one. Mercedes did that one.
Uh,
And there were 10 items, right? So two are in the
yeah.
middle. So you
Uh-huh.
add those two up and get an average and you get
Uh-huh.
12.6 is the answer.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Maureen?
Uh-uh.
All right, let's go to a new share and I just want to look at okay. Now I just want to look at types of graphs. Just kind of introduce some of them you're familiar with. What do you think a pie graph is, Mercedes?
It's
Just
like
in,
a
just in words, what do you think it looks like?
it's like a circle.
Yes, that's right. It's a circle, and your parts add up to 100%.
Yes.
What about a bar graph?
The bar graph now is like the lines that going up like rectangle shape or
Yeah, rectangular bars, and they could be horizontal or they could be vertical. What about the line graphs? What do they look like?
line graph like you go like zigzag
Yeah,
across different colors,
exactly what
different
they say, lines, right? Connecting
line.
points,
Yeah.
a line. Now, the thing about graphs, make sure, and there's another one we call a pictogram, and also charts and pictographs. Okay, but let's just look at the graph. Now, when you're looking at a graph, make sure you look at the heading to see what the graph is representing,
Okay.
right? And that goes also if you have a chart or a table. Now, sometimes they give you some special text about the graph. Make sure you read it. Sometimes they have colors, different colors telling you what the different colors represent. All right. Now, sometimes they have a key that tells you what various things represent in the graph. So you may want to just take some notes at the beginning to say what this graph is and what it's showing and what kind of things are you plotting. All right. Now, here's a line graph right here. Like it says, it's a line, right?
Yes.
Can you see that rocket launch?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Now, you see that graph, right?
Okay.
Now, look at the graph. Now, can you look at the graph and tell me which altitude does it levels off? Can you see it on the graph?
Yes.
Which altitude does it levels off, Mercedes?
120 and 900.
Altitude. This is
Oh,
speed.
oh.
This
Speed of
is altitude. Remember I
speed of
said,
one.
when you look at the
Speed,
graph, that this is a rocket launch acceleration. That's the subject of the graph. What is it showing? Speed in meters per second and altitude. That means how far it's rising, right?
so like
Now, my question is, which point does it level off? What altitude?
okay, the altitude is 900 and the speed is
No,
is
I
one.
didn't ask you speed.
Oh,
Ask you what altitude does this rocket levels off?
this rocket level off of altitude 900.
No,
I'm wrong. Okay, it's 5 then.
it's 500. Because see, it's increasing up to 500. 500, it starts leveling off. They're
Oh,
closer, right? In
okay.
other words, the speed, 100, the speed here is about 110 because it's between 100 and 120, and here's 120. So it starts leveling off at 500. That's a multiple choice
So,
question, right?
yeah. So
So
when
see, there's the possible answers: 100, 300, 500, 700. So when you
oh,
look at these, 100 is increasing, right?
yes,
300 is increasing.
can you bring it back down a little bit, Miss? Let me
Okay,
just say.
right?
When you say well level up, I just go to the highest one and say you go straight across to 120 and that goes straight on to 900, so I choose that one.
No, it say when it starts. At
Oh,
what altitude does the rocket speed begin? That's start.
yeah.
So it begins to level off at 500,
Oh,
right? And then it keeps
I the level
leveling off up
up
to
to
900, right?
oh, you
But where
got you.
does it begin? At the 500.
500. Okay.
Okay. Notice the 900 wasn't one of these, right?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
It's a multiple choice question.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's just take one more. Here's a circle or pie chart, pie graph. Now you notice this one is referring to what? It's like somebody's budget, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The clients are trying to pay off their credit card debt. So they developed a budget based on their monthly take home pay. So here's the budget. Housing, 27%. Credit card bills, 24%. Food, 28%. Transportation, 4%. Clothing, 5%. Other, 12%. Okay. Now these should all add up to 100%. Add them up. Do they add up to 100?
You want us to have it now?
Yes. Let's add this up. That's a math.
Okay.
Maureen, you add them?
Okay.
1, 63.
28 and 12 is what? 40. 27, that's 67. 24, that's what? 91. 4 is 95, and 5 is 100. So your circle graphs add up to 100%, even though they may not be given in percent, but the whole thing is 100%. Now, number 2, using that graph. Now, just tell me in words. I don't want you to solve it, Maureen. If the client's monthly take-home pay is $2,500, about how much do they plan to pay each month on their credit card debt? Just tell me in words how you would find that.
Oh, the plan, where is that? Okay, the pair is, they want to pay like 24% of the 25.
Yeah, the credit
credit
card
card.
bill is 24%. So you take
Yeah.
20% of the 2,500 and you get your answer. Okay. Now, Mercedes, number 3. Tell me how you would solve number 3.
What fraction of whatever name monthly
What fraction
take,
of the client's,
the client's monthly take-home pay goes towards clothing?
okay,
Clothing is 5%. So 5% is
what fraction does 5% represent?
1.40.
No. Remember I said the whole thing is 100. 5 over 100 represents what fraction? Simplified.
I'm not sure. Let me see. 50? No.
5 over 100. What? Simplify that. Reduce it to the lowest term. What do you get?
50?
No.
The lowest term is
Maureen, you know 5 over 100 is what to the lowest term? What fraction?
1 over 20.
That's right, 1 over 20. Very good. You just divide the numerator by 5 and the denominator by 5, Mercedes.
you say
5
divide?
Yeah, divide 5 by 5, you get 1, and divide 100 by 5, you get 20.
So guess what I'm doing? I made a mistake by multiplying. That's why I didn't get the answer.
No, no. Remember you taking your least common denominator, and that's 5. 5 and the 5 is 1, 5 and 100, 20.
What happens? Sometimes I know what to do, but I make a mistake with the number to do it. Like instead of say divide, I go to multiply when I should divide the opposite.
Okay,
But
I want to, oh, that's a line graph. I want to, okay. I want to just do a pictograph for you. Pictograph is where a picture represents something in the graph. Like here, you're looking at flavor of pizza and the number of children. Now, each of these circles represents 4 children. So if I ask you, how many children prefer cheese, Maureen? How many would you say? Each of these represents 4 children. So how many children prefer cheese?
3 and
Each of these symbols represents 4 children. And how many do you have?
3, 4, 5. What was that? 4, 5.
That's not a whole symbol.
oh,
Oh,
That's like a fourth is taken out. So that represents really 3 children, right? So 4 is 12, and 3 is 15.
15.
That's right.
Do it again.
Mercedes,
Do it
okay,
again.
4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12, right? But
Yeah.
here, that's just 3/4 of that symbol. So that
It's,
represents 3, right? Because each fourth is one child. So you have 3 here, right? So 4, 4, 4 is 12, and 3 are 15. Got it, Mercedes?
oh, and I was looking at it another way. I was looking at that two full, two whole go to each child. So each child get two
No,
whole.
see, you got to look at the key.
Oh, I'm looking at all
Each
of the,
symbol represents 4 children.
okay.
So Mercedes, how many children prefer pepperoni?
Oh, I would say two whole and a quarter. Oh, I have to add all of them together.
Yes, because you got to look at your key. That's the important thing about a pictograph. You got to look at your key. Each symbol represents 4 children. So pepperoni represents how many children?
Well, pepperoni. Okay.
How
Yeah,
many
that's
children does this represent right here?
8, 9.
9. That's right, because 1/4 is just one child, right?
Okay.
Maureen, how many prefer barbecue chicken? How many children?
4 and a half, no quarter.
A fourth of this key is one child,
Yeah, so
right?
it's
So
5.
that'll be 5. You got it?
Yeah.
What about the margarita, Mercedes? How many?
That would be 11.
11. Very good. You got it. Okay. These pictographs are kind of nice, right? Let's just look at another one. You see the symbols over here? The key represents 2 hours. So, Mercedes, how much sleep time is there?
Okay, there are, what, how much is it represent an hour? 1?
Right. See the
2.
key there? 2.
Okay, I can see it. So that represent 2 hours.
That's
So
right. So how many sleep hours are there? How much time is spent sleeping?
10.
10, because you got 2, 2, 2, 2. 5 times 2 is 10. All right, Maureen, how much is spent on online classes? How much time?
4.
Okay, very good. 4. Now, how much time is spent on self-study? Mercedes.
And that will be, 1 hour.
1 hour. That's right, because that's half of it. Okay, you got it. So
Yes.
that's how you read the pictographs. All right. Now,
Yes.
I just quickly want to show you the bar graphs, and then we ask you questions on these pictographs. Okay, now here are the bar graphs. They okay, they're actually bars, and they can be vertical or they can be horizontal. Now these are vertical, and you read off the top. Like these are some median scores, right? And if I ask you for Colfax High School, what would you say the median score would be right here? Mercedes, what would you say?
Okay, which school is that? Miss,
Right.
you can push it up a little big. I'm using my phone because my iPod not working yet.
Okay. Well, it's the second one. So actually, I can't.
Did
Actually,
you
I
read
forget.
the numbers much
Well,
small?
I've just got the cursor on it.
Okay.
Can you see this number here? That's 74.
Yes,
So
now I can see
at the top of this bar, what would that be?
the top of the bar.
A
Oh,
little above 74. So you could call it 74 and a fraction, right?
yes, a little bit tip.
Yeah, it's a little above. So you could call it 74 and 2/10. Okay. But that's the way the bar graph works. You read it at the top. I'll give you some that's clearer to read. Okay. All right. That was the vertical. Now, here's the way the horizontal bars might look. All right.
Okay.
These are just some senior students' mathematics scores. Okay. 3 of them within this range. Most of them are between the 50 and the 59 range, right? And there they are in the table. Same thing in a table. Okay. All right. So we're going to stop here. I know we didn't really go through it in detail, but I think we went through it enough that you can probably answer some questions on maybe a line graph or a circle or pie chart. All right. Or a pictograph, right?
Okay.
Certainly, if I gave you something like this, you can determine
Yeah.
which you could put these in order as to who preferred what, right? The most preferred is the cheese. That's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
What will
Yeah.
come after the cheese?
Pepperoni. No, sorry.
Or
I'm
the
No,
margaritas.
margarita. More, right? And then pepperoni, and then barbecue chicken,
It's an
right?
observation lesson.
And if you say, what time do they spend, where do they spend the least time here based on this pictograph? What's the
Self-study.
least time? Self-study, right? You can see it, right? Okay, so we're going to stop here. Your homework will really be a couple of more mean, median, ratio, and ratio proportion, and maybe just a couple of graphs. All right.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. So I'll say so long.
Okay.
Miss, did you get my mail?